Hello everyone, my name is FlareBlitzed here and welcome back to Empty Head. Now, I'm feeling much better since episode 2. Now we can progress with this game without the allergies getting over us. When I say allergies, I just mean the common cold in general. Have I done my top? Yeah, I've done it up. All good. I just like to do the little 2 buttons. I have to stop him before he does something quick. So we're going to go through this first because we did go through this part last time where we managed to stop Chris from doing what he's about to do. But this time we're just going to sit back and relax and see what happens. Predictable though, but yeah. I know what's going to happen. Even if you do not. She's ignoring me. He's ignoring me. They all ignore me. Yep, You know, at first I thought it may be an ending divergence, but, you know, it's a game over there, down there, yep. It's basically to the right of me. Okay, so now with that out of the way, we can continue with this adventure in the peak bedroom, which I believe I said in the last time, but resembles a little bit of Sarah, the daughter of Arold. So let's progress through and see what else we can find on this adventure of ours. Good. Game audio recording this time. Chris, I wanted to ask you. Don't you think we should get Miss? Don't you think we should get back to Mr. Baker first? I didn't even say that correctly. It'll only take a minute. Trust me. Okay, I'm listening. Tell me more about your job. As you've probably read in my diary, I've stopped being an artist for a while. Yeah, I've also read about your reaction. Why did you lie to me? You told me that you had some business to do, which contradicts the fact that you've stopped working as an artist. I'm sorry, White Fox. Where are we? This is my parents' house. Actually, it's been left to me in their will. Of course, many of the rooms aren't real. How is that possible? Something to do with the imagination, or maybe this is just a figment of Arold's mind, and that these characters are indeed spiritual, reanimated people who represent one of the 3 characters in Arold's family. So, White Fox could represent Laura or Sarah. White Fox could represent Laura or Sarah. The maid could also represent the other one, which isn't, along with the fact of I keep forgetting his name now. Chris representing Thomas. I saw 2 strange figures. For a few seconds I saw a woman and a little girl where Arold was resting, but I wasn't able to see them clearly. My instincts tell me they're related to Arold. Oh, so you saw them too? I wasn't able to pay close attention, but I did catch a few words. If they really are related to Mr. Baker, they might be his wife and daughter. Excuse me. Why did you want to X yourself? Sorry, I know this is a sensitive subject. I just wasn't prepared for what I was about to see. White Fox, please don't cry. You're avoiding the subject, Chris. I don't like that. The real problem is, even if you've read my diary, it doesn't give you the right to make decisions in my life. You know nothing about me. Yeah, same goes the other way. Whatever you say is relatable, Chris, you know. We may not know anything about you, but you don't know anything about us. It works both ways. If it wasn't for that moment of weakness, I wouldn't be here talking to you. How could I stop crying when you keep yelling at me like this? I know we barely know each other, but I could never leave you to die. I could never leave anyone to die. Put yourself in my shoes. What would you have done in my place? Yeah, that's a difficult question to ask because the only thing they can think about at that time is themselves. Not in a selfish way, but in sort of a you're sharing yourself so much in your sort of cocoon, really, that that shell has a sort of special protective gear that prevents anything from outside, any even sound-based stuff, from going within. So therefore, even if you try to talk to them, there's just not going to be any response. It's like talking to a brick wall, essentially. I've always loved art for a particular reason. People were focusing on what I used to draw and not on me. Since I was little, I had a strange fear of being watched, observed, or stared at. And I don't just mean strangers. I was even scared of the looks from my family. I've tried to fight the situation over time. I became famous and my fans' faces made me happy. You know the rest of the story. You can't even imagine how hard it is for me to look at you in the eyes, White Fox. So that's why he tried to do that, from behind. It's funny, really. We barely know each other, but I'm seeing something different in you. Something I've never seen in other people. What are you talking about? You can hide from yourself. You are hiding a lot of things from your past, am I right? For example, your real name. I forgot my real name due to... Forget? I think you wanted to forget it. I'd like to know what happened to you, if you don't mind. Ooh. Not the right time in your life to do that. Yeah, that's all this started off in a downward spiral. I started working as a model when I was at the age of 16. My family is going through a financial crisis and the only way to help them was to start working. My career as a model wouldn't just help my parents with finances, it would also help me to accept my body. What's wrong with your body? Ooh, that's a bit of a tricky question. It's a bit of a personal subject. Anyways, my co-workers never liked me. To their eyes, I was just insecure and a big crybaby. One day, they decided it would be funny to point all the spotlights in the place of where we're all parading at the time. Where I was, to be specific. I can imagine how that felt. The audience was looking at me as if I was some circus act. I couldn't believe it. I ran away in tears while my co-workers were laughing at me. I lost my job because of them. I was on every newspaper. The trauma caused me a fear of the light. After losing my job, my parents didn't want me to come back home. Ouch. They thought my reaction made the entire situation even worse. I decided to change my identity to forget the past. After 5 years, I finally found a new manager. I told him everything. He hired me with a new name, White Fox. For my own choice, he didn't let me communicate a lot with the outside world. Unfortunately, I haven't seen him for about 7 months. Seven months. Could it be that Arold started his alcohol issues 7 months ago, chronologically? And within that space, Arold has forgotten to communicate with said person, so therefore hypothetically, it could have been 7 months ago where Arold started developing a drinking problem. And then from there, the communication got separated. So therefore the family's infrastructure collapsed, and therefore the communication between White Fox, who is, I'm going to say just out of the dark that White Fox is Laura, so she's Arold's wife. So therefore, White Fox has lost communication with Arold for about 7 months. But within those 7 months, not only has she forgotten her own real name, she's also forgotten who her manager's name is. After we manage to find Mr. Baker's kids, would you like to work for me? I've never worked as a manager, but it could be fun. Yes, spells doom over. White Fox, I promise I will do everything to help you. Even though we just barely know each other, and a few minutes ago, you was gritting your teeth and being angry with me. And, okay, please don't underestimate your body. Thank you? You really just can't make people comfortable after all, at all. We should go. We should go. Thank you very much. We've spent enough time in this corridor. We don't need to go back, White Fox. But I wanna. In this long, horrific corridor with mirrors. These damn mirrors again! White Fox, don't be nervous. Yes, look at me and the reflection. Sculptor Phobia, also known as Sculptor Phobia, is a fear of being stared at. It varies in severity from person to person. Some people are afraid only when a stranger stares for a long period of time, while others fear even passing eye contact with a friend. Sculptor Phobia is often, though not always, associated with other social phobias. Untreated, the fear may worsen over time. Relates to Chris. Wait a minute. Don't tell me. What's wrong, White Fox? Nothing. Let's go. Yeah, Chris, read a book. Read a book. Read a book. Nah, let's not read a book, okay? Let's just continue onwards with our journey in the afterlife. Just look at all these mirrors and look at all these faces looking at us. You sure what that is? That was what Arold saw. Their fears are the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. But I can ignore them as long as they are related to him. What are you, shadowy figure? Are you some sort of entity that came before Arold came here? Were you the originator of this world? This parallel world of the real world? Sort of like a blank dream event where I have a very, very strong wish, and therefore it created a world in the afterlife, in between life and death. Anyways, we're theorizing too much here. A bathroom? Chris, how about you wait for me outside? This bathroom looks a bit small for the two of us. I won't be long. I just have to make sure that there's nothing suspicious hidden. Of course. You know, you could have just said you wanted to go to the toilet. The bathroom didn't look that small to me. If she was hoping to use an excuse to use the toilet, she could directly say it. Yeah, but I don't think some people like to say it like that. So that, usually when you do want to go to the toilet, then therefore the bathroom does seem a lot smaller. Theoretically, because you don't want anyone around you. Yep, I've already read that. Hello, Sarah. Oh, you should be Mr. Baker's daughter. My name is Sarah. Who are you? I'm Christopher, a new friend of your father's. I don't trust his friends. May I know why? Because you all get up to drunk things. Arold isn't the person who he claims to be. Who is talking in the shadows? What was that? Sarah, don't run away. Everything will work out. Whatever happened between the two of you, you don't need to rush it. all wounds heal over time. I still don't want to forgive Dad, but I want to trust you. Well, that's something. You heard a woman scream, "Mum!" So Sarah thought that her mum screamed. Wait! Wait! Little child! I'm sorry, White Fox. I have to follow Sarah before she gets out of my sight. I think she already is out of your sight. What's going to happen now? Oh. Hey, leave her alone. Eek. You couldn't do anything to save her. Oh. Don't worry. I believe that wasn't the real Sarah. Christopher, now isn't the time to lose it. You have a little girl to follow. That doesn't sound creepy at all, in any way, shape or form. We hate him. Broken glass, I better not step on it. Excuse me. Look at that. A photo. Oh, it's your family. Yes. Is this Mr. Baker? It was probably taken a few years ago. Why has that one got an arrow pointed down on it? Unless it's just blood, but that's a very specific way to paint blood on a wall. Just an arrow with no text. Is she the lion doll? Or is the other one the lion doll? Go away. We hate him. Psycho. These are probably the words of Sarah, actually. Oh, look at that! Oh, what's hiding in the darkness is pitch black. Sarah, if you hear, say something. I'll try and find you. Who is in there? Well, hi there, eyes. Look at all these. Uh-oh. Stop staring at me. He has Sculptor Phobia. Now's not the time of hesitation. One of those phobias from earlier, the fear of being stared at. I must continue my research for everyone's sake. What do you mean by for everyone's sake? For your sake? Hi. You gonna try and stop me, pair of eyes? You know very well that what you're trying to do here is wrong. You don't like it when I ignore you, so therefore the fear lingers, the darkness perpetuates. Your volume gets stronger the worse our fear gets. And there's a save point. Excellent. Look at the background there. It's no longer eyes but lips. Good. Get out of the way. No reason to look at the eyes. Christopher? Sarah, is that you? Yes, it's me. Why are you covering your eyes? It's a long story. Tell me what happened. I thought I heard my mum scream, but I was wrong. A strange voice that I heard before. It couldn't have been Sarah. Sarah, if you've already checked this room, I think we can... No! I have something to show you, Christopher. It's in this room. It's actually important. I wonder what that could be. Okay, Sarah. You're still covering your eyes. Would you mind walking me to it? Sure. You do seem irritated by that, though. Sarah. We're now the little innocent girl, Sarah, who is the daughter of Arold. Hopefully Sarah or Thomas don't develop as an alcoholic like their father did. Here we are. What is it? It's a fable. The same one that Dad brought for me and Thomas. Would you like to read it? There's just the final chapter. I'm sure I'll be able to understand it. Dolphins, story of a close-knit family. Excuse me, I'm not 100% better, by the way. Chapter 3. The poor dolphin was so desperate that he wasn't even able to focus. The pain he felt in that moment was indescribable. He'd never been alone before. He couldn't imagine how horrible loneliness might be. Go on. Time passed and his parents were still gone. Suddenly the little dolphin saw something in the distance. The dolphin swam as fast as he could. He finally reached his destination. The only destination that you should always keep fighting for. The one that can always shut down the loneliness inside us. Family. Sarah, don't you think you should take it with you? As you've already said, it's an important memory for you. Me and my brother, we fell like the little dolphin. Do you mean felt? Alone. Christopher, let's get out of here. Of course, Sarah. Thank goodness my arms were ready to fall off. Out of the room we go. Oh, we're old. Okie dokie. So what have we got now? So we got a hat with a purple ribbon, a hat with a green ribbon, and a hat with a white ribbon. A white dress, pink dress, blue dress. Only the white hat and the white dress go together. Stuck. Okay, I thought something was building up there. No good. I wish nothing did build up. Not nice for a situation like this when my voice is at its utmost requirement to be good. That didn't make sense at all, I know. Starting from the top, dress the mannequin as in the painting, but be careful. You won't be able to change your choice. You only have one chance. So you got a white dress with a hat with a white ribbon. So I'm just thinking that you need to put the features on here. I did save, didn't I? Yeah, I did save. Good. I'll save again, actually. Just for hindsight's sake. Oh yeah, we don't even have it. So I just want to know what happens if we don't put the correct ones in. So, pink dress and purple hat. It becomes very distorted. Hi. I hope you're well. Hi there. Did the spirit of the lady come and haunt us? Oh, dearie me. Okay. So you want a... Is it starting from top to bottom? I hope it is starting from top to bottom, you know. Don't put the wrong dress or the wrong hat on. Starting from the top, dress the mannequin. As in the painting, but be careful, we'll be able to change your choice. You only have one chance. Okay, so you have to start with the hat. White. And then dress. I knew that was the correct answer, but I just wanted to see what would happen if you get it wrong. There's a sheet of paper inside the pocket of this dress. We'll wait for you in Devon's room. I have a bad feeling about this. Does one now? Oh, dearie me. She's gonna be a roller coaster of a ride. Okay, you don't have anything else left to say? It's stuck. What if there's a top secret item in here that determines the ending of the game? We never know. But back here? This is where one of the riddles were. How dare you do this to me? There's a globe and there's a stack of books and candles. Yeah, we was in here earlier with White Fox in the previous episode. One with that mirror riddle, which you had to use bid maths to solve. Christopher? White Fox? Are they going to be in as well? Yes, everything is coming full circle now, unfortunately for you. Oh, hunky-dories. Hunky-dories indeed. Light. Stump. Oh, it's a family photo. This is a picture of us. This photo was taken 4 years ago. We were all happy at the time. Laura. Laura was so kind and thoughtful. She always had a smile on her face. Her smile was able to warm my heart. But in this photo I can see the insecurity in her eyes. I haven't been the perfect husband. Sarah. Sarah was only 2 in this photo. She loved being held in my arms. It was one of the things she really enjoyed. She hates me now. She wants you to change to be the father that you once were. Thomas has always been a little shy. He's never liked group talks, don't you mean? Because they make him feel uncomfortable. I've always wanted him to be a lawyer like me, but he never wanted to listen. Because maybe Thomas has different ambitions. You know, children should not be subjugated to be within a career path that they don't want to be, just because their mother or father tells them that they should do that, you know. Parents shouldn't have the choice to decide what their children do as adults, their career path. Although, unless if a child likes that path as well, then obviously it's a win-win for everyone. I shouldn't have objected so much in his decisions. Exactly. I stopped drinking when Laura was pregnant with Thomas, but I started drinking again over time. Distorted. Greetings, little ones. Would you look at that? Look what you've done, Arold. Look at what you've done. You've created these evil smiles. Oh, what's going on now? Wait. Don't tell me. Let the piano play itself to open the box. Press one of the buttons to activate the piano and repeat its notes. Oh, for goodness sakes, it's not one of these sound-based puzzles. Oh, goodness sakes, I really hope the notes are actually differentiated between each one rather than so similar. The last time I encountered one of these was in Pocket Mirror, and for goodness sakes, that puzzle took me hours to complete. Just simply because the sounds are so confusing, because they're so similar. A piano. I don't know what I did there. Maybe it only remembers the four that you've previously played. So even if you put a long amount of time into it, therefore the one that was first that you played is now reset so that it goes out of the equation. I'm not too sure on how that works in RPG Maker, Engine or something like that, because usually in these sort of things you get a certain amount of time to decode the puzzle, solve it, as it would. But unfortunately in this, fortunately I mean, sorry, it remembers it regardless of how much time it's taken to press another one. Another one. Oh, the joys of having glasses. Having to completely and always clean them. Right. First time. What the heck is going on here? Oh my goodness sakes. This is why having hair is so annoying, especially after having a shower. Because they just like to linger around your glasses. And it's so annoying. Like you're trying to focus on one thing, but then that little a strand of hair just falls down. I don't know what I did there. Maybe it's red, purple, blue, green. Actually, it wasn't so bad. Only took a few guesses. Oh my goodness sakes! I've worn glasses nearly all my life, but I'm still not a huge fan of them. But I don't want to have contact lenses as well. I find those even worse than glasses. But yeah. And sometimes they can get permanent scratches on them as well, so you can't actually get rid of them unless you buy a new set of lenses. And reactive lenses are not cheap. They're the ones that kind of goes darker when sunlight impacts it. A piano. Obtained end key. Ah, nice. So I suppose we couldn't have gone into the inn without solving this puzzle. But yeah, I don't know how I found that as easy as it was. Maybe it's just because of luck. Yes. What's this? Thanks for joining us. The staff hopes you'll enjoy the party. I'll just use the key that I found in the box. Yes. Now let's end this, because I feel like we're getting near the end of the game. Stop haunting me. Plates, glasses, knives, and forks in different shapes and sizes. Yes. Not now. And it's the first room. I believe it's locked. Okay, I just want to make sure that those two are out of the equation. What now, eh? Beyond this door. I still don't know what to expect. It's time to settle the score. Choose wisely. Your answers will determine the ending. Answers, eh? 3 different answers. Glad you finally showed up, Mr. Baker. I never told you my name. You can likely imagine who told me. Can you explain what's going... Shh. There's no need to get so worked up. Christopher, White Fox, why are you guys here? I invited them. Do you have a problem with that? We are more important than you might think. What's going to happen now? I'll do it from top to bottom. That seems like a bad ending though. We'll do that next. Good question. Now that Mr. Devon is dead and all the evidence has been erased, I have nothing to worry about. Mr. Devon could represent Arold. I think it's clear by now that I was the one who killed him. But I'm sure you guys will be as quiet as mice. Marcus wasn't exactly the best person in the world, but he didn't deserve to die. Do you even understand what you're saying? I'm going to ask you a simple question, Mr. Baker. And I want you to answer me honestly. Why does everybody hate you? I'm not a man who can inspire sympathy in others. I probably sound harsh most of the time. But I swear, I'm not the kind of person that everyone thinks I am. I have an idea. I believe you, Arold. What the hell is she talking about? I'll play your game, White Fox. I think you are someone to be proud of, Mr. Baker. Very few have made it this far, and you did it for your family. Oh, now I understand. Guys, you don't need your family, Mr. Baker. You already have us. What are you... I think you've noticed it too. Your family doesn't want you anymore. You're wrong. I have been acting a bit too harshly towards you. I hope you forgive me, Mr. Baker. Arold, face the truth. We're the only ones who have accepted you for who you are. Do you remember what happened today in court? The judge kicked me out. I was drunk. I don't remember what else happened. I had flashbacks about events I don't actually remember. Oh, poor Mrs. Meekins. She didn't deserve to be treated like your slave. Not to mention your family. Enough! I admit it. I did some stuff that I'm not proud of. But I haven't done anything bad enough to deserve this sort of punishment. I believe, in some cases, Arold, you do. Deep down, you should know what you should be repented. That's exactly what we're thinking. We don't have any quarrel with you. What we're trying to say is, we want to save you, Arold. There are still plenty of things that I don't know about this whole situation. Well, you can ask one very last question. You talked about saving me. What did you mean? It's easier than you think. Stay with us. We'll be your new family. We'll be your replacement. No, not the perfect replacement. What the hell are you talking about? Mr. Baker? My friends let that come out wrong. Don't be so harsh on them. What they were trying to say is, there isn't much choice. I'm really sorry, but you won't be able to see your family again. I can just imagine how much happier they are without you. Think about how your kids felt. And your wife. I don't remember anything. Arold, please. I admit it. The whole reason I'm in this situation is because of me. I never thought you guys knew each other, though it was so obvious. You're wrong. It's only because of the masks that we understand. Those masks? What's that all about? Mr. Baker, that's enough. I would like to receive some sort of explanation. It doesn't even matter at this point. Let us help you, Mr. Baker. Let us help you. So, I don't have any other choice. My family doesn't want to see me anymore. I think you are forgetting a very important detail. We'll always be there for you. You're right. The only ones who really cared about me all this time were you two. Oh, look at yourself, White Fox. You're crying your eyes out. It's a pleasure to see you again, Mr. Baker. I knew you'd do the right thing. is true. I was a terrible husband and father. I'm to be ashamed of. The alcohol made me a horrible person. Only an idiot would think my family wants to stay with someone like me. Oh, you finally get it? That's not the only thing I understand. I will stay with you. In the end, this is what I deserve. I deserve to stay with someone created by my own mind. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm sorry, Arold. I never meant for any of this to happen. It was the least that I could do. What happens now? I've never tasted a cup of tea like this before, Susan. I'm glad you like it. I always use 2 teaspoons of lemon to make it sour enough. Arold, make yourself comfortable. I don't drink tea. I'm so happy to live here with you guys. Why folks keep staring at the mirror? I never thought that it would actually happen. It was a rushed choice. But I can't deny the fact that I feel happy with all of us together. You keep looking at that mirror. Although it doesn't look the same for our dear white fox. Ever since she saw herself in the mirror, she only talks with Mr. Baker. She won't even tell us why. Honestly, I don't see what's so bad about her body. At most, she may have gained a little weight. Yes. So White Fox does represent Laura. White Fox, I thought that you... I didn't want you to find out like this. It's all my fault. If somebody should be taking blame, it should be me. I'm sure we'll all somehow manage to start over, sorry. So please, don't leave us. You're all I have left. I thought my idea made sense. But this way, we just tricked him with false hope. And it's all my fault. White Fox? Neutral ending. A fake reality. Could be normal ending as well, it could be represented as. Bonus room. In this room there are all the fan arts of Empty Head. A big thanks to everyone who decided to participate. Yay, let's look at some of these fan arts. Ooh. The Mysterious White Fox by... I'm not going to try and pronounce these names, I'm sorry. Artistic Misfortune. A sportive version, huh? Christopher Carter by Artistic Misfortune. Okay, so 2 by the same person. Okay. A Realistic Arold by Amu98. A Weary Susan by Vintage Oddity. A Grown Up Sarah by Ghost Spirit Sama. Okay. A Cheerful Sarah by Pineapple Arts. Meh by Fugumochi. A Cute Thomas by Creddy? I'm still not sure how to pronounce these names, I'm sorry. Umi... Hold on. Nagisa. There we go. I didn't want to try and mispronounce it and say something else, which is extremely rude. Anyways, Let's just exit the room now and see the other two endings of the game. Because I imagine going through the store, the credits will play. And it does. I'll make you pay for it. I knew it. You guys are involved in all of this. It's all your fault. Mr. Baker, on what grounds would it be our fault? Look. First of all, our waitress. I know someone that may help you, my foot. I found myself in an empty room with just... It's true. In that time I've decided to have some fun. That smile. Do you think I'm here to make you laugh? My kid's life might be in danger and you... Arold. White Fox. Even you disappointed me. I don't know what game you're playing, but I thought you had my back. I am on your side. I don't know what made you think otherwise, but I saw you. I saw the way you were waving that knife. You cannot deny it. A knife? What the hell are you talking about? White Fox wouldn't harm a fly. Right, White Fox? Oh, what you saw wasn't real. I have no reason to have a knife with me. You're being tough with White Fox, don't you think? Christopher is right. This girl doesn't have a knife. You're wrong to blame her. Stop it. Stop treating me like I'm crazy. What? Arold, calm down. You're starting to scare me. I don't care. I took the knife. It'll prove I'm not lying. Mr. Baker, we didn't do anything wrong. Don't be ridiculous, Chris. You did everything you could to get in my way. And even now, I have no idea where my kids are. Mr. Baker, let us explain. Yeah. Arold. Not going to work. Do you still think this is funny? Arold. Now it's your turn, traitors. No, please don't. Think about it. Do you think killing us will help you find your kids? White Fox, let him do it. When he finds out the truth, I'm sure he'll regret it and pay the price. Don't talk nonsense, Christopher. I don't need you. I see no reason why I should regret it. You got in my way all this time. Now it's time to pay for it. Don't worry. It will be quick and almost painless. I'm sorry, Arold. Blood on the knife. So, I have no choice again. Bad ending. The end of, you think bad ending? Yeah, bad everything of everything. Exactly the same. It's all going to be exactly the same, regardless of which ending you get. I just want to see my kids. Where are my kids? So, you are still interested in finding them? Of course, I'm here because of them. I thought they were. Everything has its time, Mr. Baker. I would like to ask you, Who do you think is involved in your kid's disappearance? Himself. Just don't tell me. Ah, have you figured it out? I had some flashbacks. Flashbacks of events I don't actually remember. Unfortunately, they didn't help me remember everything. It's as if my head was empty. Empty head. That's why we're here, Mr. Baker. We have always been there for you. To get you to understand. You don't remember most of the things you've done because of your pulse to drink. It was just a little habit of mine. It was not little, mate. Life-changing events occurred because of your alcoholic addiction. Drinking helped me to not think about a lot of things. For example, how much of a failure I was as a lawyer. Somehow I managed to forget about Meekins' husband's death? Wait, so Arold... I don't think that's written correctly. So you're talking about your... Oh, okay, so that elderly woman, I believe. Somehow managed to forget about Meekins' husband's death. Okay, so that was my fault there. We were hoping that this trip would help you understand everything. Marcus, Alice. It's all connected. But why didn't you tell me from the beginning? We didn't know how you'd react. But mostly, with your current state, we didn't know if we could trust you. You might not have figured it out, but alcohol made you a horrible person. How am I supposed to believe you? You mentioned that in court today. You mentioned a problem. The judge couldn't imagine that you were an alcoholic. After all, only your family knew. If you don't believe me, look in the mirror. Yeah, see your reflection, Arold. Look at that face. What? It was me. All this time? Do you get it now, Mr. Baker? You are your own nemesis. What should I do now? You should be the one to decide. I just want to see my wife and children again. It's the only thing that matters to me. Oh, old, I knew. Hold it right there. We can't trust him. You both know what he did. Don't say that. Don't let him affect you from by what he's saying. He's obviously lying so he could get away with it. Sarah? Nothing gets past you, does it? Or maybe I should call you Dad. Don't get too many weird thoughts. I'm just the embodiment of your daughter. Made by your mind. For goodness sakes. A little puppy keeps barking outside. And it's still quite warm even for September. This world was created by your own guilt. The only real person here is you. Just me? So even my children are created by you? That's right. Your real family is still in your house, Mr. Baker. Even you are. Yes. Each of us has experienced the same fears and feelings as your kids and wife. Mr. Baker, your son. As shy and immature as he could be, spending time with you made him feel unaccepted. He was scared of the eyes of his own father, the same red eyes from all the drinking, and the same eyes that lashed out against them. We had a chance to meet them, but somehow they even refused us. They did it because you are Mr. Baker's allies. That's true. Sarah hesitated when I told her about my friendship with Mr. Baker. But in the end, she believed in me. What are you saying? And she isn't the only one. I still believe him. Nonsense! What about Thomas? He ran away. I'm sure he still hates his father. No, you're wrong. Thomas willfully showed me the way. He wanted me to run into Christopher. That's right, White Fox. Thomas was encouraging us. He was the first one who wanted Mr. Baker to discover the truth. Mr. Baker? Do you remember when you hit your wife with a bottle of wine? What are you talking... Susan, don't do it! Mr. Baker didn't need to remember the past. Chris is right. Arold already regrets what he did, even if he doesn't remember all of it. You're right. I don't need to remember the past. All I'd be doing is feeding my guilt. Susan, please. I'm no longer the same man as before. Because of you. That's why. I just want to thank you. Mr. Baker, Sarah's anger for you. It was your anger for Mr. Devon. The same shared by her daughter. Oh, I know. You're Laura. Or at least, you are the unhappy and insecure Laura. And it was my fault she felt that way. But it's because of you that I'm here now. I would never have had the strength to do any of this if it weren't for you. Mr. Baker, I think it's time for you to return to your family. Don't you think? Don't worry. Are you guys sure that I'm ready? Of course, Arold. Then, this is goodbye. Don't forget about us, Mr. Baker. Thank you, Mr. Baker. Without you, we would have never been able to find forgiveness in ourselves. And we'd have kept living in this beyond madness limbo. Madness. I can finally say that I'm happy. And I think you guys should be too. You're right, Mr. Baker. What I did to you is just horrible. But I know we can move on. You're right. You're ready to start your life again, Mr. Baker. Thanks for everything, guys. I hope to see you again one day. For a reason that doesn't concern all of us. Thomas, Sarah, Laura. Just the embodiment. Nothing else. Our photo. Obtained framed photo. Excellent. Now let us proceed to what is the true ending of Empty Head. And it goes. Welcome back to the real world, Arold. Nah. Shara, I'm so happy to see you again. Thomas, I'm so happy to see you again. No, not those thoughts again. Old dialogue. Stuff like that. Not now. Not now, okay, Jose. A flower pot? Okay, let's just see. It's good to be back. We'll be happy again just like we used to be. It's a promise. True ending. A new beginning. Again in red writing. Let's just see these one more time. That's a cool looking one. Very cute. Cool. I don't think fan art is appreciated enough. Especially if you get them as rare as I do. Good. So that is, folks, Empty Head. Thank you so much for watching my videos of this game. Thank you to the developer of making Empty Head. It's sort of twisted more around psychological horror over anything else. So it's sort of being able to conquer your own fears through trials and tribulations inside your own mind. It's sort of an Uminiki slash blank dream slash, oh gosh, slash pocket mirror game. So you could combine all those sort of three together and their own sort of horror aesthetics, and you could possibly merge all three into this game because they all have different elements with the guilt factor and stuff, with the ways it's trying to tell you that, you know, there is something wrong, but you're only going to find out the entire truth at the end of the game. But also, unlike other RPG horror games, the story to this game is quite conclusive, concrete. There's not much thinking about here, but there's some little things here and there. Like I thought the 7-month period was the period where Arold started to develop his drinking habit again, and therefore from that point onwards the connection with the family is starting to tear away, and therefore in that sense White Fox started to lose most of their memories. Ones of who White Fox's manager is, and along with who herself is. Like, I think the only thing that she remembered is her name and her fear of lights, because of the combination of both the connection with the family being lost, but also from the fear of her past traumatic events with that spotlight moment. So, Empty Head, a pretty good game. I wouldn't say it was hugely, outstandingly fantastic, but it is a good game nonetheless. But the only question I've got left at the end of all this is, why is that girl like that with the teddy bear? The teddy bear sort of resembles something that, if you don't use the bear, you'll end up as the girl, like something that you'll regret later on, because if you don't save using the bear, you're going to keep going around this cycle where you're going to be this girl, which is Sarah. So thank you so much for watching, guys. And also as well, just saying that right now, the maid who was kind of like the stirrer of all these bad events inside Arold's head is the representation of Sarah, who has probably the most vengeance against her father, Arold, just because of all the traumatic events that happened. But also I think Thomas is the older one, isn't he? So maybe, I'm not too sure, it's all a personal equation over anything else. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I should recommend to check out this game for yourself if I've missed out anything that you think that I should have covered. But this is the end of Empty Head, folks. Now we've got a full head going on. I'm going to be spearing ahead into the next video. Have a wonderful day and take care of yourselves.